Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. I am your host, WIZE, and I have a very special guest. She's a fellow podcaster, a Bay Area native.
Yay.
And when I saw her at this event, I was like, I gotta have her on my podcast. So now I have her here. Welcome to the show, Eluchianna. See, I messed this up, and I said it correctly the first time. Why am I messing up right now? Eluchianna Olive.
Yeah.
See?
Yes.
This is and when we first started, I said it correctly, and I don't know why.
You did.
Sometimes it happens. It happens. But how you
No
doing
problem.
today?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. So you're a fellow podcaster, and it's crazy because we kind of started at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, we're both pandemic podcasters. So I started when I got furloughed from my job in 2020. I was like, the wife had a big honey to-do list for me, and I had to find something for me to do. And I was like, I've been wanting to start a podcast. Let me start a podcast, and here I go. I've released 160. I don't know, 160 something episodes now on my audio podcast. And then I transitioned to video last year and released I don't know how many episodes of pre-recorded. And now I go strictly live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
you're further than me with that. I haven't did the audio. I think I did the audio one time. And it was like, oop, that's not for me right now, but yeah.
Well, audio is a lot of work. It's when you first start out, when I first started out and I edit I'd edit all my audio and stuff like that, and I would be listening and all the ums and ahs and the breaths and everything. I was just like, I gotta take that out, and it would take time. So I was like, let me just go to video, and I can always edit the video because then I can see where I messed up at. But
okay.
But then I was like, you know what? Let me just go live, and I ain't got to worry about any of that.
Oh yeah, you don't. It's a lot. I had someone helping me at first, and then everybody start off strong, and then once you get to like over 100 episodes, and then people just start falling off. So the editing part, I'm getting used to. It's more control, but it's kind of like it's a work in progress. But that video, I salute you. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna grow up one day, but not now.
Why not now?
Oh, that's a good question. Mainly because I want to know. I want to learn. I don't want to make a mistake.
That's where you're messing up at. You know that, right?
Okay.
That's where you're messing up at, because you have to learn the mistake. You have to do. How are you going to learn if you don't make the mistakes?
That's true. I guess I should say I am just want to perfect it a little bit.
It's no perfection.
Okay.
There's no perfection. You just need to go into it and stop worrying about, am I doing this right? You're going to learn. You're going to learn.
Okay.
How are you supposed to learn? Seriously, how are you supposed to learn if you're not making a mistake? It's not like, just go into it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. It's okay. Right now you're talking to me live. So you can do live, obviously.
Okay. All right. See, that's how I got started. When I started my podcast, and I told my cousin, "Oh, I'm gonna do it." He challenged me 100 episodes or 1 year, and so I feel like this is the second challenge. It's okay,
So I'm challenging you to go live or do video. I'm challenging you to go video.
Okay, I will do that.
Why not?
Why not? That's right. Why not? Sink or swim. I'm gonna go for it. You're right. I'm going to do it. Thank you. I just needed that kick to go.
Oh, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here. But no, it's you're a fellow podcaster,
Mm,
and I believe me, I know how you feel because for a while I did strictly audio for my first
mhm,
100 and something episodes was strictly audio, and then I had a guest on who branding marketing specialist and him and his wife, and he goes because I was using StreamYard, I was just not recording the video. I would use my roadcaster and record just the audio.
mhm.
And he goes, "So you really don't do video?" And I'm like, "Nah, not yet. I'm not ready." Same thing you said. And he
Okay.
goes, a second time, "You sure you don't do video?" I said, "Nah." I'm like, "I don't think it's gonna be." And then the third time he goes, "You sure you don't do video?" And I went, "Yes, I do video now." And he's like, "See, he says that shows me that
Wow.
you're coachable, that you know." And he made and all the points he pointed out was it's more content for you.
Mm,
Now you just don't have audio. Now you have video to go along with that audio. So it's more content for
okay.
you. And just the growth from it, just being able, listen, go out, do it. You're gonna mess up. I've had
Okay.
technical difficulties where video has shut off or my grandson has pressed the power button and now my equipment gets shut off. But
Okay.
these things happen. These things happen. But yeah, man, don't use that you want it to be perfect as an excuse to not doing it.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing right now is making up excuses to why you can't do video. And I want to know why can't you do video?
The perfectionist in
Which
me
is
wanted to do it right, but also, when you do the video, like when I just got started, though I've been doing it for almost like 2 years. When you get started, it's like, where do you go to do the live? I didn't even know about StreamYard until it popped up on my screen literally 4 hours ago. And I'm like, well, what is this? And then I started looking to see what exactly it entails. I'm like, oh, that's where you would go. So maybe part of it was wanted to be right, and part of it didn't want to ask a question because I didn't know where to go because I didn't want to be able to be held accountable. So it basically it's excuses.
it is. It
That,
is. It's
that's what
just
it is.
excuses.
When it boils down to it, you're just making excuses of why you didn't do it. So yeah,
Yes.
guilty as
So
charged, but I will be doing that.
but good. I'm glad. I'm happy that you're gonna do it because it's just it just makes sense. It makes sense to for the evolution of it. That's
Mm,
what it was for me. For me,
yeah.
it was definitely the evolution. And like, okay, video, audio was yeah. I love my audio podcast. That's my baby. That's where I
Hmm.
started at. So I still do my audio, but now I also now have video content. So this eventually will go on. This audio eventually will go on my audio podcast. But now I have a YouTube channel.
Mm,
Now I have
okay.
clips that I can. Now I have clips that I can use for Instagram, TikTok, all these other little tools
Right. Okay.
that you can use. But that's what you
Okay.
use it for.
I see. I see. Sometimes you got to make it plain. Make it for the simplest to understand. But I get it now. I do get it. It clicked. You don't have to tell me but three times. No, I got it. I got it. I definitely do, and I do because it really is funny. I think as the podcast evolved into what it is now, I'm more comfortable. I go into and do certain things that I would never have done before. I know what works and what doesn't work. I think I started, and my son was like, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get this Yeti mic," and he was like, "I don't think you should get it till you learn how to do the audio." No, I'm gonna get it, and then I got it, and it was just like, "What is this?" He said, "See, you gotta learn. You gotta crawl before you walk. You want to go buy all the equipment, but do you know how
You
to
don't do your
really
research.
work the
Yeah.
right?" So that stopped me, but I'm doing that now, so that's why I'm kind of like, just kind of like getting to
But
know what
listen,
I'm doing.
but honestly, it's
Hmm.
you don't need expensive equipment. You
Right.
really don't. You like right now. What are you using? Your phone?
Yeah, I actually using my phone because I couldn't get onto this computer. But yeah.
But see, but you're still doing you're still doing this podcast with me.
Yes,
You're
that
able
is true.
I'm able to
Hmm.
hear you. You have video. So you can start right now with your phone. Like you see how
Hmm.
you're using your phone to be on StreamYard? You can do this. You
Yeah.
can have someone
Yep.
on now and you can do so it it's not necessary that you really need all the equipment. Eventually you might want to invest in it in some equipment
Hmm.
and lighting and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive equipment. I started off with a Behringer Studio that I paid $160 on Amazon. Came with the mic, mixer, headsets, and that's how I started.
Okay.
And like you, I found my voice because I wasn't in media or radio or any of that. I worked. I'm a table games dealer at a casino. So,
Wow.
but
You sound like
I,
you've been doing this for radio for a minute. You sound like poised and you got the voice, you got the drive. You sound like you've been doing this for a minute. But yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean,
like it's easy. It's the hardest part is getting started,
yeah,
and the only way you're gonna get better is by you continuously doing it. And for me, that's what I did. I was just, all right, the only way I'm going to improve is let me keep recording
hmm,
episodes. And I went
yes.
crazy last year recording. I probably got
Wow.
almost 200 episodes as far as audio. And I probably only used 100 of those episodes. I was recording probably like 6 days a week, maybe two, 3 episodes a day. Oh,
Yeah.
like just going crazy.
Hmm. Wow.
But I love recording. I love being
Hmm.
able to sit and conversate with people and have great conversation and learn.
Me too. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I can do the audio. That's my baby. That's my heart. I could talk all day long. It's like when you're in front of the camera, it's just like, is everything right? But it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be your authentic self. So
Yes,
that, yeah, I definitely
and that's
understand that.
and that's what attracted me to you when you was doing the show. I was like, "Man, I like how she talking, and I love the message you was spreading and what you was talking
Okay,
about. And I was like, I gotta have her on my show.
thank
I definitely gotta have her on because sister, you got a message. You out here talking some good positive content. So
thank you. I
I
appreciate
gotta
it.
be able to share you with my world.
Okay, and thank you for inviting me. But yeah, that was something came from somebody that I knew doing an audio, and she just threw it at me, and I'm like, okay, let me try. And I was nervous, and I was like, I don't want to do the camera thing. I wanted to shut it down. And then when it was over, I was just like, wow, that went by quick. But I felt that thing. It was something that was just in me. It was just like this is what I want to do. So this is like my shot, or bringing it to a larger audience. And you never know who you can meet that would encourage you, inspire you, or just give you that like you need to do this or bring this into the game. And so I'm about evolving and growing. I don't want to get stuck in one place because I think that's how you get
so,
stagnant and then you give up.
so that's your next step is you don't even gotta do live. Just do pre-recorded video.
Okay.
If you don't feel comfortable doing live, just do pre-recorded interviews, pre-recorded videos, and
Okay.
then upload them. And then eventually I challenge you to go live. But right now, like but,
I'm
but for
gonna do it. I'm
now,
gonna jump in the lake. I'm gonna jump in that fire. I'm gonna go because that's how my mind is working now. It's kind of like this is a great opportunity. I'm not gonna just sit there and say, oh, maybe next week I'm a pretty worried. If I can do one a week live broadcast, I feel like I accomplished something. It's not about baby steps. It's really like this is what you want to do,
if it's
Eluchianna.
if
This
it
is what you said.
if it's a goal
Go.
you set, it
Hmm.
can be done
Yeah.
once a
Exactly.
week. Once a week, it's nothing. You already what do you how many audios do you record a week?
I do. I think about 9.
And you telling me one of those you can't do video?
I sure can. I'm not gonna say I can't anymore. That's not coming out of my mouth. I can. If I can do, I think I changed my format where I was uploading audio content 3 times a day, 8, 11, and 4. And I'm like, you know what? That's too much even for me. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna stream it down, and why can't I do a video? You
I
know.
feel you. No, I
So
feel you
yeah.
about recording. Like, yeah, I'm gonna burn myself out if I keep going the way I was going. So now I do the lives, but because then you, on top of that, like I said, you got to edit and all this, and that's some more
Hmm.
time. So I'm like, yeah, let me scale back before I really burn myself out,
Yeah.
and then I can't do it. But no, I was like, let me scale back, and that's what. And then I was like, yo, let me do a go live now. It saves a whole lot of trouble now.
And yeah, the next time I probably next thing you're gonna be like, oh, she actually took. I'm gonna email you and like, oh, I did it. Boom, I went and did it because I think that's what I like about this community. Of podcasts where people are encouraging one another to step outside of their comfort zone and do something they're not, ready to do, or to think that they're not ready to do. So yes, I'm ready.
Honestly, this has led me to want to go into coaching. That
Okay.
that's my next step is coaching and public speaking, because again, why not? It's me wanting to step out of my comfort zone and do something that I love to do, is help people and teach them podcasting, whatever it is that I decide that I want to coach in. Then
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna excel at it because I have confidence in myself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
podcasting has built that. Being able
Mm,
to do the lives and have these conversations has built my confidence, because I'm like, where am I getting this from? How am I able to do this?
yeah.
So
Same here.
it breeds that confidence in you, where you're like, you know what? I could do this. I could do public speaking. I could do coaching. Why not?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
that's the key. Why not? Why not me? Why not you?
That should be like a shirt. I'm saying, why not? Oh, why not? But that was interesting because I was so nervous. I took a public speaking class in college, and I was just like, I'm nervous. I don't like this. And the instructor said, look, if you no one if you're not nervous when you go up there to speak, everybody is. It can be a room full of 100 people or one person. You got to have that nervous energy, but you learn how to get through it. And so just doing this podcast, it's kind of like I could speak in front of people that I normally would shy away from. I would not, oh, like I'm just going to listen to them. And it was just really, it opened the door for me to learn how to, to all that things, all the classes I took back then would come prepare me for today. I would tell you crazy, but it is. It's like I have a nervous energy, but I can talk, I can go, but also more important, I can listen. And that's one of the things that people just talk 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 talk, but I'm like, public skills, you got to listen, you got to read your audience, you got to be able to
Hmm.
bring people in. And so and take when you get off stage and somebody said, well, you did too many ums and whys, but you can take that.
No, look, you have to be able to take criticism. Like, that's the only way you're
Yeah.
gonna improve. And for me, when someone criticized, and it's not even I don't even think of it as criticism. It's just helping me grow. It's like,
Okay. Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
because when you think of being someone criticizing, you're thinking of something negative. So for me, it's more, they're helping me improve. They're like, hey, listen,
Yeah,
they're tips. They're basically tips, like, hey,
exactly.
maybe you could have done this differently, or you could have done this. And like, okay.
Sure.
And then eventually you find your own style. You find out who you are. You find out,
Yeah.
all right, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna just
Hmm.
chill, have a great conversation, learn a few things from some people, and share with my audience.
Yeah, I definitely understand. It's just like something was missing, and I knew, and
This
it's kind
conversation
of
was supposed to
like
happen. This
it
conversation was
was.
supposed to happen.
It really truly was. I thought it was going to go. I'm glad it went in the direction that it's right now because I needed to hear this. Um, and it was like, something was missing. I could not figure out what it was. And being open, it was just open to receive. So I thank you for that because I needed this at this particular moment at this time.
things
I needed
happen.
it.
Things then
Yes.
look, this really did happen for a reason. This happened
Okay.
at this time for a reason. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
That's just the energy I put out, and that's the energy that comes in back to me. So it was something that needed to happen. This was a conversation because like why seeing you do that show got me, just something about it was like I need to have on my podcast.
Wow.
It wasn't. I didn't know why. I what you were
Mm.
saying was resonating with me. I understood where you was coming from, but something told me I had to have you on my podcast. So I was
Wow.
like, let me have her on, and so this is why it's happening.
Yeah.
Everything again, everything happens for a reason. It was meant for me and you to record, and one of us was going to receive a message.
Yeah. I raised my hand. Hello, it's me. It's me. It truly is because that was the first time ever that I did something like that. And when I got that response back, I was like, I was flirting like actually was listening to me somebody because I was just like in the flow, in the know, and I'm just like I'm just happy to, to I was honored just to be on that platform. And then when I saw um your company, I was like, really, this is a real thing, this is happening. And I literally called my kid like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening, this is happening. He was just like, calm down,
But
this
see,
is
the
what you
thing
said
is,
you wanted.
you need to go on other podcasts. You have
Yeah.
to connect with other podcasters,
Hmm.
and you have to go on other podcasts because that way you can grow your audience. You
Okay.
might saying someone that might be listening to me, listening to us talk right now and speak and all that, and they're like, "Yeah, I like her. Let me check out her podcast." It might
Hmm.
see that's a member you might have gotten before. That's an audience
Right.
you wanna. So that's one thing I tell all podcasters: if you're gonna do this, be prepared to do other people's shows. Have other podcasters on your show. That way you grow your
Wow.
audience because then they share
Okay.
you when they're on your show. They share your show like, "Hey, I'm going to be on this show. Come check me out." That's a whole different audience. That's how we grow.
Wow. I had like, I had guests like, my people that I know, but hearing you say that, that resonated with me because I'm just like, how do you that coaching side just came out. How do you connect with other people to not to grow your honesty, but just to talk with other, podcasters. And when you said that, it just hit me. It's just like, that's what you have to do. You have to not be, it can't be just your own show and you're talking to people. You have to get out there, you have to branch out.
You
So
have to make it
that,
other people. You have to
yeah.
make it everybody's show.
Okay.
This shows
Okay.
everybody because now I go to I transition to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have people show up. I have now the reason I did it was because I love to show people's comments. Like this is A Pizzle. A Pizzle is a fan. He's an audience member that I do a live sports talk show Thursday and Friday on my friend's Brian Snow show. I'm on Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson, and I'm there Thursday and Friday mornings. And A Pizzle is a audience member there. He listens, chat. He's in the chat always commenting, and that inspired me to really go live. Is to be able to interact with people. Another
Mm-hmm.
Obami right here. He's a friend of mine from. He's a former coworker of mine. He's an entrepreneur, everything, and he's been supporting me since I've been doing audio, sharing my
Okay.
content, linking me up with other people. But it gives them an opportunity sometimes to even ask questions of my guests.
Okay.
I've had
Mm.
people interact. I've had people become friends from interacting on chat. I
Mm.
had a member
Okay.
and a friend of mine. She came and she was having a rough day, and she's like she saw that I was going live. She's like, let me check it out. And the guest I had on, she was an amazing guest. She was a life designer, but she's also a designer. She also designed rooms and stuff like that.
Mm.
And my friend goes, "Do you design room for autistic kids?" Because her family and her were they were or they're all on the spectrum. And my guest was like, I don't know. I really know. I haven't really thought about it. But she said, but I'm autistic as well. And she goes, so I guess I do design rooms for autistic people and all that. And that connection right there was, it was great, because
Wow.
then my friend messaged me like, yo, thank you. I needed to hear that episode. And that's why I do it. Is that's why I do the
Mhm.
podcast in general, is to be able to connect
Okay.
people. They see, they check out a guest, and whatever the guest is talking about might resonate with them. And it's just like, to be able to make those connections and have that kind of impact, even if it's just
Wow.
one person,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're doing the
Absolutely.
right thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like, I know I'm a guest, but I'm just listening like a little kid. Like, okay, that's what I'm
I'm
just like,
sorry,
okay,
I don't mean
let's
to
go.
hijack the show, but it's
No,
just
no, because no, because I like you said, everything happened for a reason, and when you said that, I was just like, when you said that, she said I'm autistic, and it connected people. It's like that's exactly kind of like the direction that I want. I always say keep the conversation going, but it connects people with people, and it's like how we make things like go round, not go round, but better. And I think it's like you're not alone. You can say, "Oh, somebody, let me help her. Let me branch out to the you." That's how we stay connected. So yeah, I'm like this. I'm just gonna sit here and say, "Go ahead, go ahead." I'm in class today. I'm in class. I'm taking
but
note. I got my little notepad. I'm about to start taking notes right now.
no, but seriously, when I tell you this, this
Yeah.
conversation was supposed to happen. I couldn't explain to you why.
Yeah.
But when I saw you at it was International Pod Day event. Shout out to
Yes.
Jeff Favilla for a man who
Yes.
had that show. He put that on. That it was a great day of some great content going on.
Yes.
We had a
Exactly.
lot of
Yes.
great podcasters there. But it, to me, it was I was like, I had a blast doing it, and because I got to
Mm,
speak and just enjoy myself. I did it like I was part of Jeff's first show of Rise and Shine. And then
wow.
later on, we had Real Wise represented all across. I had my homegirl Brandy J doing her show. Me and my nephew Poppy J, we did our show, and it was an honor to be able to for a good friend of mine to actually be like, "Yo, I want you to be a part of this." And
Mm,
so when people do that, it's like it shows you that hey, people do appreciate what you do.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when it was so how that came about, somebody shouted to me, I set up, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then, I was like nervous, it's like backstage, and how it came about, I wasn't supposed to be on till later that day. And then it was like email, like, no, you're going now at 12. I'm like, and then it was just like, um, and I was just like a little professional, like, okay, let's go. And so and I just started talking, and for him to come back, and yeah, shout out for him definitely, and just give me that immediate feedback. It was like, because it was just me, it was my voice and people that I knew would listen to me speak, but to hear it from my peers or from the audience, it meant so much more. It basically is like, okay, you're not just, you're just not just talking to me talking. You really have found your purpose, and people are giving you the opportunity to speak. Don't mess that up. But yeah, that's how it came about. And he was like, I said, I was nervous. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do 30 minutes. And it was just like flowing. And then I told my my son when I was doing it, you have to think on your head while you're talking. I had all these ideas or all these things in my head, but it didn't come across that way. I didn't want to, just come across like a babbling, because I'm like,
I
no, you get people watching.
No, honestly, you know what? I don't script my shows.
Okay, me
I don't
neither.
script my shows. I rather like me and you really we didn't really communicate. Well, only time you sent me the picture and you sent me the bio and all that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't pre-screen my I just want to come
Mm,
down and have a great conversation,
yeah,
and I want it to be the most authentic thing there. So I don't
it
want it
is.
to be
Yeah,
like question. I don't want it to be like I don't know, cookie cutter. I don't want it to just everybody just ask the same question. I just wanted to have a nice conversation. People get to know you, and
Mhm.
see how you are, and see the person that I saw when I saw when you did your show, and I was like, she's down to earth, she's true. That's what I like to. That's those are the conversations I like to have.
I don't script mine either, and I am so glad that you did not. When I sit there, well, this I want to talk about this, whatever. It's just like, yeah, she. But you know what? Like you said, it was like, no, no, this is not what we're doing. This is what I need, and it's important for people to sometimes, like, when you go on podcasts. I think I did one. No, I didn't. I had someone on my podcast, and you could just tell they were very guarded, and they were writing it, that it was scripted. I'm like, no, I wanna. When I asked them a question, they were kind of like, oh, well, what? And you could, someone's like, just, you're talking to me. You're talking to me, and just
Hmm.
let's flow. People can tell when you're just giving them, I don't want to say lip service or something like that. So I'm glad that you just like, nah, we're not doing none of that. This is what we're doing.
Honestly, I was like, okay. I looked at him. I was like, all right, maybe we might discuss some. I don't know. I don't know. But
I like that. That's how I was like, okay, she think that's coming. No, but it was, and really, it's really, thank you, because everything, I didn't need to talk about none of that, because I talk about that all the time on my podcast, or just in life in general. But this is what I needed for this time to prepare me to the next level. So yeah, I'm just gonna let you continue on. Like I said, I'm in class next.
yeah, no, so shout out to my man Brian Snow. That's the snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. I do that Thursdays and
Hi.
Fridays, and it's because of him I go live now. I do my
Mm,
video, but it's because of him, because that's where I started going live. I was live on his show, and to
wow.
interact with the audience was the best part to me, was because they're really interactive. They put comments and all that, and it just pushed me to go like, all right, that was the next step for me. It
Wow.
was my
Yeah.
evolution,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
yeah, it's I love it. I feel it's a blessing to be able to do this.
Mm. It is. It is. It's like to be able to flow from sports to politics to news to pop culture to everybody said they can do it, and they can do it, but can they do it well?
Yeah,
That's the question. It's like, oh, I can do this. Like, it takes it to be able to transition. I think I shocked somebody when I was talking about sports one time. They were like, "Oh, you really do know what you're talking about." I'm like, yes, friend, I do. But and one thing that you said that was interesting, is that that's why I started YouTube, but then I stopped, because it was kind of like it wasn't like I couldn't keep up with the comments. It was it was like, oh, you have to answer that, you have to do this. I'm like, okay, let me get the audio portion down, and then I stopped it. But now we know that that's no longer an excuse. But I just
yeah,
had a question for you. How
yeah.
do you how do you for the comments when you went live and you decided to do this? How did you? Was it an adjustment to be able to read the comments and still stay with the talking about what
No,
you're talking about? Oh, okay.
no, because when I'm on Snowman in the morning, even though we're doing the shows, I'm paying attention to the comments, because
Okay.
the comments is just like if you're listening,
Mm, okay.
because that's basically what it is. The comments are is basically you're listening to the audience, because they might want to
Okay.
interject something, or they might have a fact that you might have missed, and they
Okay.
might be like, no, this is what happened. This is here he goes. They've done that. The audience, the guys, and it's like I said, it's a sports. Like, we might have messed up, like saying a wrong stat or a wrong year, and someone in the audience will correct us, or if they might put out a silly comment or a funny comment, and you peep that, and you be like, yo, put that up, and they put it up. But that's what helped me develop
Okay.
what I'm doing now, to be able to read a good comment, or because I'm looking at my camera and my screen at the same time, so I can see the
Wow.
comments.
Okay, okay, I can do it. I can see you doing it. I'm just like, how is he doing that? But yeah, that's something that, and I think you know, again, I'm gonna stop using that word because I don't like to use that word, but it's like, how do you do it? You just do it. How do you know that you can't
You
you
can't do
can
it.
do it?
How, yeah, how
Right,
do you know? Yeah, if you can't do it, if you don't do it. And
right.
that was for me, even with my audio podcast, I was making up excuses like, nah, I'm gonna sound horrible. People gonna
Yeah.
when I was because I had been wanting to start since 2019. I was gonna start a
Mm.
sports podcast with a homeboy, and so it didn't work out. And so I had the equipment, but I was like, no, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I just made up a bunch of excuses. And when I couldn't make up any more excuses, I just press record.
Guilty. Yes,
Just press
exactly. Okay.
record. And I was like, I didn't know I was gonna love it so much.
Mhm.
I,
That's it. That's the love part. It's like I didn't realize, and well, I did realize because I like to talk. I like to run my mouth. I'm like, put me in a conversation. I don't care. I'm just gonna be here in the conversation. But it's that thing where it's like I record, like I look forward to it. It's kind of like, I go in here, close the door, I put a sign like I'm in a professional studio, do not disturb recording, things of that nature. I do
Look
that
at that,
because I
you're ahead of me. I don't even have a sign. I need to get me one of those. I gotta get me one of those signs for my door here, like on the air or something. I don't even have one of those.
that was so funny because it's like there was what walk my I would be recording and then my mom would just walk in the room. I'll be like, do you? But that's part of the experience. For
Yeah,
me, it's to bring people. It's like it's not perfect. Now, granted, you're not gonna have a whole bunch of stuff in your background and looking.
no,
But when somebody walks in and having a conversation, it's like, okay, this is authentic. One thing that I learned, I was watching during the pandemic. I was watching, the late great comedian David A. Arnold, and he would be talking, and it was just like somebody would walk in, have a conversation, and he would never, not care. He wasn't character. He would just, this is life. This is what's happening. So I stopped with the, don't come in here. If you come in here and ask me something, and it's like, I'm not really, I don't know where your brush is, then I'm just gonna, like, lock the door. But other than that, I think it brings the audience. It's like, this is normal. This
oh
this
no,
is what happens in a real family.
my grandson has made a couple of appearances. He's made a couple of appearances, and he has made his presence felt quite a few times. I kid you not. I did a whole episode. I've done 2 episodes where he's cut the power on me. Like literally, he says, "Ooh," then he goes like my power cord thing. He sees the light, and like I thought he had left the room,
Right.
and he walked back in because he's only 2 years old. So
Oh.
he looked under my desk and saw the light. He saw the bright light,
Mhm.
and toot, and I was just talking, and everything just go black, and I looked down, and it's him looking up at me with the biggest smile on his face.
I
And like,
love
how
it.
am I supposed to get upset at him for that?
Right.
Like how can I get upset at that face because he cut the power off on me? I looked
Oh
at him and
my
I just
god.
laughed. And he did it a couple of days later, and I just
Oh my
laughed.
goodness.
But
Yeah. It.
this is the thing. It's life. It's life. It
Yes.
happened.
It's life. It's life. Like, you can be in the middle of a podcast. Somebody will call me and they'll kick me out, and I'm like, "Do you need some?" "Oh, I just wanted to know if you need something from the store." "No, I didn't. I didn't." But it's like, but everybody's apologetic. But that face, the grandson, oh, they would have lost. I'm like, I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play with you
Yeah, no.
because you want my
So
attention.
yeah, no, it was. But the funny thing was the guests on this today. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, I actually had a guest. He continue on talking. Like, I guess he'll be back eventually. But they were a podcast host, so they knew they had to keep it going.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
it was a good thing. And then the
Okay.
other time, I actually edited it where because it goes black, but it still has like my logo on temporarily. So what I did was when I edited the video, I put like a please stand by and stuff
Oh
Guest is
wow.
having technical difficulties across the clip. That was the messed up part, and I thought it
I
would be
love
funny.
it.
I thought, you know what, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be unique. Let me just prove. I'm just gonna edit it this way instead of just deleting it and taking it out.
Yeah.
I just made it. I just made the graphic come up, and I was like, it just this. Sometimes you just gotta have fun with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the key to me. Keeping, although it's serious, sometimes the issues
Yes,
that are discussed are serious, but
of
you
course.
it's like you gotta keep it fun, or it's just like, and people's like, oh, there are you like, yeah, things just happen. It's too much heaviness sometimes,
Yeah,
and you just have to.
especially
I
now.
was right, 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 exactly. It's too much. So
This time
thank you
now,
for that.
everybody's so serious and uptight,
Hmm.
and you get canceled for anything, or people are just very sensitive at this point, and
Yeah,
you just can't say anything. But
yeah.
people shouldn't live like that. It's like,
No, they shouldn't. It's a limited life when you do that. But when you can laugh, like I tell people, laugh with me, laugh after me. I am not perfect. I will drop something and keep like on this podcast right here. I call them teeth, these earbuds popped up my ear, and I'm like, okay, should I just like no? I'm just gonna keep talking, just roll with it. But it literally just popped out of my ear, and I'm just like, whew, this is being professional, but that's being able to share. It's like it's not perfect. It's I can laugh
it's
at
not.
myself. It's funny.
You have listen. You have to laugh at yourself. Sometimes, like like beginning of the show, perfect example. I couldn't say your name, and I said it perfectly fine prior to pressing record. I said it perfectly twice. And I can't say it now. Look at that. See, but
It's
it's
like is
funny
that
that
yeah.
sometimes when I try to say words, I know how to say the word, but it just
Yes,
won't come out. It just
that part.
I'm like really. There right now is like earlier. Oh no, I can't say it. But when I don't think about it, when I don't think about the word, and it just comes out, just flows out. When I start thinking about it, it's like, what is wrong with me?
I know. It's like
Differentiate. I couldn't say
exactly.
differentiate earlier. I was trying to do an audio book, and I was trying to, and I got to that part, and I couldn't say the word. I said it in my head, but it just couldn't come out.
Isn't that when you just know? I think I was same thing. I think I was trying to say a word that I normally. I think what is it? Sentimental. I don't know what happened. It was just like simple. I'm like, oh
Yo, but I gotta laugh at it. I have to laugh at those moments.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Laughter.
because it's like I'm like I know what I'm trying to say. Why doesn't it want to come out
Yeah,
correctly?
where's the disconnect? Disconnect, and you get somebody
Like
like you mispronounced that word.
where's my brain and like my tongue
Yes,
that can't interact
ex-
correctly?
exactly. Exactly. Like where something's wrong or something, or like in the morning, like when I'm recording, my voice is really, really heavy. And somebody was listening to me, so I could tell you didn't have your coffee in the morning because you just sounded just like. And I'm like, please don't judge me. But it's funny because I'm like, I'm telling you right now, in the morning, I will sound like an 80-year-old old man. I literally will do that without my coffee. So there you go. There you go.
Oh man. Uh, so yeah, okay. So but one of the things I did want to talk to you about, because I resonated with that part, was finding your voice.
Mhm. Yes.
So you found your voice podcasting.
Yeah. Yes, I really, really did. I was always, I had something to say. I was always talk to my dad. I will always talk about anything, life, events, happy, sad. I would talk to him. And when I lost him, it was like I felt like I lost a person that I can confide in, that got me, that understood me. And it was like I started thinking he was preparing me for this my entire life. And I was just like, it does not, he will always say, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I'm going to talk about it, think it through, and just say it. And it really was about me finding my voice and not being afraid to speak up and speak out. um and that was so empowering for me, and I use it in every aspect of my life. But yeah, it's so just it's just so part of me now to find my voice, and I encourage everyone to find something that you're passionate in your voice and speak up. It may not be in this form or something, but do find your voice. Don't let things just go and not think that you have nothing to say. Like I used to tell my sons growing up, everybody has a story, everybody has a voice. You
Yeah.
got to listen to it. Whether you agree with it or not, let them speak. So finding my voice is like now people are like shut up. No, I'm gonna keep going.
Oh
But
no,
yes,
right now there's certain people that need to shut up though.
yeah,
There's a certain person. There's a certain person who
yes.
really does need to shut up. He's like digging a bigger hole for him,
Oh.
I'm trying to support him, but he's just burying himself. Uh,
Yes.
He's just
It's
burying
like
himself.
you have to navigate that's that and I found out just having that conversation with people, it's a charged conversation. I like to say that's what it is because it's like on one hand you want to say be quiet, stop, you're just digging a bigger hole for yourself. And the other part is like you got to take accountability and for
For what
what
you
you
say,
said,
yes.
and you have to do it. You can't have it
One
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 sided.
one 100%. And again, my issue with him with what he said was just the Joe George Floyd situation to me. That and then his apology after that was just not was to me wasn't even an apology. It was like, seriously, how are you comparing what you're going through what this man, this the murder of this man, like
Yeah,
because they're taking away your sponsorship money because to me it was like, oh, you're just throwing more fuel to the flames. You're not
exactly.
you 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 and to me it's a cry for help. And
Yeah, it is.
so
It's
I
like
go
you
ahead.
can't you can't. I'm so sorry because
No,
I'm agreeing with you, but yeah, it's like your apology to me it was not sincere. Maybe you mentioned, maybe you didn't. I don't know, but it's like I am not afraid of saying I made a mistake, I misspoke, I
yeah,
apologize, and I'm just gonna step back. And I think if more people, if he would have said that, it would have been more genuine. But it's kind of like, are you saying it because you're losing all this money or what?
yeah,
But be sincere, be accountable. That's what it is to me. It's my word of October was
accountability. Yep,
accountability. Yes,
accountability. Yeah, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't, not just him, but a lot of people in general don't like take accountability for their
yeah,
lives, and that's why
yeah,
they're in the situation. Like I know why I'm in the situations that I get myself, because I got myself into them, not
yeah,
anyone else.
yeah, yeah,
And it's up to me to get myself out of there. But again, it's me accepting accountability for what I did. And
yeah. That part is the most, that part I found just watching other people or just even myself. That was a big thing. It's like, okay, you found what you want to do. This is it. But there's other things that are going on in my life that I have to be accountable for and responsible for. But when I make a mistake, it's kind of like I don't go to anybody else. My dad was that person I went to, and he was just like, "What are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Now I was like, I have to own what I've done, and that to me, you may not, people may not like me for it. People may hold things, hopefully they won't hold things against me, but I
that sounds like a them problem though.
yeah, well, yeah, it is, but I think it's like, to me it's like being afraid to own it. And now I'm just like, this is what I did, this is where I messed up, take it or leave it, that's
Yeah,
it.
if
Yeah,
if they don't accept it, it sounds like a them problem. That's what it
yeah,
sounds like. Like if you're willing to accept your mistake, and not they're not even mistakes, they're life lessons, they're
yes,
experiences that you're meant
true.
to experience in life, then if they can't accept that you're willing to accept your errors or your life lessons, then oh well, it
Yeah,
sounds like a
that's
them
now.
problem.
Yeah, you let them own it. Once it's said, when it's out there, you're right. It's like it's on you. I no longer hold on to it. I don't internalize it. But that's
No.
right. That accountability. Thank you for that one. Look, you just coming at me on opposite. Like, yeah, I like that. Thank you.
And this is why I
Okay.
want to go into coaching. Seriously, this is why I
Okay.
want to go into coaching. Is this is making me realize that I have other things to share, other talents to
Yeah.
share, and it'd be wrong of me not to attempt it.
Yeah. I mean, in this short time that we are here, I have it's like I wrote some things down. I have some things that I'm going to take away from this conversation, and it's kind of like I'll sign up for the seminar. I do that because
But
that to me is important for me to learn and to grow.
I'm gonna hold you to that because I'm actually planning on working on something where I'm gonna try to work with 4 people, um and see how it
Mhm.
goes,
Okay.
and then but yeah, if you're serious, I would definitely love to have you.
Oh, I sign me up. I'm not gonna put the sign like yes. Let me know. See
No,
me.
no, I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
it's something that I have to do to, if I'm serious about doing this, then I need people to help me see what I need to what I need to do to build the course or to do what I want to do.
No.
So
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, really. And I'm not. I really mean this from my heart, and it's really what you said to me inspired me. It made me think, and I like to do. It makes me. It's just like when you hear a sermon and you go home and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take the notes and I'm gonna read it for myself on my note. That's how I felt like today. I felt like this was meant to happen, and I'm ready to take the next step, and would love to be a part of what you're trying to do and say like I'm a witness. It worked. It's a witness.
thank you. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
really would appreciate that.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna make that happen then. Now
Thank you.
you're gonna hold me. You're gonna like now. All right. I got 1 person signed up. I got to get 3 more now. All right.
All
So
right.
you're gonna. I'm gonna do it now because
Okay.
so same
Yes,
way
sir.
I'm inspiring you. You're pushing me like I'm talking about it now. I got to be about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because it's something I think I know people that would just get the word out and they would go, because again you're dropping so much knowledge in this time, and you it's not like it's like do it, it's like you're challenging, but in a coachable way. It's like, okay, what's the problem? You making me answer the question, and I'm like, well, he's right. What is the problem? So yes, to whoever's listening. I'm first.
she's
Don't
my
take my
first.
seat.
Yeah, she's the first one. Now, you're number one. You ain't got to worry about it. You're number one. Because I'm actually gonna. Because if you think about it, my mind is going where like, okay, this video for this podcast right here is a course basically. It's something.
Yeah.
It- it's it's content that can be used to help coaching.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and I and
Absolutely.
I didn't and I didn't go into this thinking that way, but it just turned out that that's how it happened because of the way
Yeah.
we just started interacting and talking. And that's one thing that that's what I've learned as a podcaster, and
Yeah.
that helps me as a coach is that at the same time you have to listen to your guests.
Sure.
You got to hear
Yeah.
what they're trying to say, and you're like, yeah, I don't know about video and all that. I'm like, why not? What you don't know about video? Like you're afraid? No, you got to listen,
Yeah. Hmm.
and that's what makes you a good podcaster.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't go into this thinking that as that way, but as we were doing it, I'm like, hey, this is sounding like I'm coaching right now.
It is. This is like you said beginning. This is what this it's who why we were connected, but it's for a bigger purpose, and it was like wow. It's
It
like
was to help both of us. Honestly, it was to help
yes,
both of us. It was to
exactly.
help me realize that this is what I need to do. Really true. Because even though I knew I wanted to do it, but really being able
Yeah.
to show
Yeah.
it to me was like
In real time. It, this was
in real
this was
time. Yeah,
this was
that's what I'm saying.
real.
So
This was
that's
real.
why it was like. I needed this. You needed this.
Yes,
This is why it happened.
exactly. Somebody else gonna watch it and they go, sign me up. It's like you go from 1 to 1,000, and then you go from 1 to 1,000. I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna tell you, other 999, I was first. So you gotta. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
But
But
nah,
I
this is
think, yeah, this was much needed, and I just appreciate the opportunity. You just really do not know. It's like this really just opened my mind, and I'm just like a little kid in the candy store ready. It's like, okay, and maybe I will do it tonight when this ends and I finish doing all this other stuff that my real work. I'm going to do my love for work, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm email you and be like, look, I did it.
send me the link so I can watch it
Okay.
and everything. Yeah, no.
Okay. I really
I'm
do
I'm I'm
appreciate it.
glad we did have this conversation.
Yes.
I'm really
Yes.
excited now. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This has really opened my eyes even more to really that I really need to go in that direction.
Yeah. So
And
many. Yeah. I appreciate it. It did. It really is. So many people are just in need of that coaching and mentoring, because it's scary out there when you get into this, this world, and people think it's just easy, and or am I good enough? And that, but for you to be able to articulate in a way where it's kind of like that, that big brother or that cousin is like, that's what that's what people that are just like all over the place, or really haven't found their voice, or to zero in and own their craft, and I appreciate you. So yes, definitely, you found it. Look at this. I'm just like, I can't wait to
this is
go and
my
tell my mom.
testimonial right here. This is my testimonial.
You're wrong.
she's
Exactly.
testi- this is my she's my testimonial, people. Just so y'all know.
Thank you
But
so much. I
oh
appreciate
no,
it.
this thank you. Like I said, this needed to happen. I appreciate
Yes.
this. I really do.
Yes.
This has really sealed it for me. Like seriously,
Okay.
honestly, this has really sealed it for me and shown me that that's the path that I need to go in. Like
Okay.
I didn't really realize like I had actually spoke to someone this afternoon about starting the coaching and what I needed to do and I watched the video that he sent me and all that, and a lot of it was the stuff that I was already doing as far as
Yeah.
podcasting goes.
Hmm.
The more as far as the content, the consistency, making the Instagram post, the TikTok post, the face to YouTube, Facebook, all that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I know this.
Hmm.
This is already stuff that I'm doing, but now coming from somewhere else, something place else, and realizing like, okay, from coming from someone I would consider an expert, I'm like, all right, then I just need a little bit more push. I need,
Wow.
and then see, in the video he discussed other things, and I'm like, okay, and I ended up kind of using them now.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But
That's
not now that
that's
I think about it, some of the things like asking you questions, asking you like, why can't you do the video? Why getting into it? That's just to me, but to me, to me, it was always natural to ask questions like that.
yeah. Mm. Mm. Natural souls. This is like you were already doing it, but now it's like confirmed. It's like, yes, you not
Yes,
you knew that you can do it, but it's like, I've been doing it. So this is new. This is just part of the evolution of me. I get what you're saying. I got that. It's like I talk a lot. So podcasting was just a way of me to
mhm.
being more constructive and not like all over the place, to listen and to
It
hear. Right.
gave you a platform, a voice where you can really now express yourself, how you
Yes.
truly feel, how you
Yes.
really want to. It's like this is me. This is how
Yes.
I feel. This is what I'm putting out there,
Hmm.
and it for me that's just, it's done that for me, where
Okay.
it's given me the opportunity to really be me,
Mm.
really be able
Okay.
to show that side of me that I've known I'm capable of doing it, but the self-doubt, because that's what it is. A lot of
Yes.
the things,
Yes.
it's in our head because we doubt what we're so programmed to believe that we can't accomplish things,
Mm,
that when
yeah.
we start really truly applying ourselves and seeing that what they've been teaching us for so long is not really correct, that we
Yeah.
are capable of doing great things, that
Yes.
we are capable of having our voices heard, but
Absolutely.
they want us to believe that we can't. And so for me to be able to do this and share this with other people, and hopefully people will see like, hey, I can have a voice too. I can share what I feel
Yeah.
or whatever it is that I want to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I absolutely. It's validation. It's validation for me. And to hear, it's kind of like, whew, it's like, okay, it's something there. I just can't wait to see it on that grand
And
scale. But yes,
it's gonna be amazing. I'm sure you're gonna kill it. You're definitely
yeah,
gonna you got the drive for it. You want it. You just needed that push. You just needed to
yeah,
be to because I can see that you're passionate about this. I can see that you
yeah.
love doing this.
Hmm.
So for me, it's like it's a no brainer for me to even want to help you,
Thank you, thank you.
because I
Yes.
see that like you can tell when someone isn't serious about something, but when
Hmm.
you see that you're serious about it, you're even enthusiastic to want to help them,
Yeah,
because you're like, all right, this is someone I'm vibing with. I know that they got some good content in them. They're all right. They need a little bit of help. Well, here we go.
yeah. That is it. It's like I had to get out my own way and be willing to because it yeah, to get the mentors, to get people who have done it, people who have taken it to the next level. It's important for me to see that and to say now, okay, yeah, why not me? It's time to take it to the next level. But having somebody else that's like, okay, this is coaching is like, this is how you do it. This is how it needs to be, not you got to find your own way, but I'm just going to motivate you to do it. You can't just sit there and say I want it to happen and not try to make the effort to make it happen. So
Yeah.
yes, I am just like, okay, I'm ready for the first seminar class, so let's go. And this was it, so I need my other one too. And probably, yeah, I think I really appreciate this because I know I needed this and I needed this, and I'm so thankful for you uh, just talking to me and just vibing with me and saying and asking me the hard questions. So, what you gonna do? Why not? And I'm like, oh. So I thank you.
But now is the time where you get to plug away and let everybody know where they can find your podcast at.
Oh my goodness. Okay, it's everything in Luciana, Conversation Among Friends. I am on Spotify. I am on Apple. I do sometimes do the 5 minute podcast on Swell. You know, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and I would just appreciate your support. And thank you for everything, and thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
All right. Don't leave just yet. I gotta do my
Okay.
shout outs.
Okay.
Um, and then we're gonna chat a little bit off air.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. So now it is time for shout outs. Shout out to my man A Pizzle for coming through. Big shout out to my man Obimi for showing love. Shout out to Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning. Catch him every day on YouTube, BS3 Networks, Snowman Digital Media Channel Network is a new channel. I don't even know the network name yet. Um, big shout out to the D Hawk TV. And big shout out to my guest, Eluchianna Olive. And I said it correctly. Yes. Oh man, for coming through and showing some love. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Bobby J, Brandy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady Fina. Love you, baby, and appreciate you. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless y'all. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at wise_b_blunt, Instagram at wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.